Oh, whoa, 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 Jesus. My mic's never fallen before. That's new. Alright. I'm going... Hold on. Let me take a second to just relax. Oh, I have no music playing. That's why everything feels off. Hang on a second. Okay. That's going. Camera's set up. I even did all the prior things that I need to do. Hold on a second. I can't see anything. Okay, a little bit more in the middle. A little bit further to the right. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Hello. Hi. I am back. We have finished our last piece. Let's go ahead and take a look at that if we can. I'm gonna see if I can just open like a PNG of it. Oh, let me double check the audio real quick. Testing, testing. Yep. Everything should be playing. I just need to turn down the audio on my headphones. The song's a little loud for me. But, oh. Let's see. Back to the art. Pictures. Come on. I broke everything up into smaller like folders, but like it still takes hours for it to load. Hours. Like 10 extra seconds, but it feels like hours. You know, when you click something on your computer, then like it takes longer than like 3 seconds, your brain is immediately like, oh my god, this computer's dying. Hello?
Beautiful.
Wow, absolutely nothing is happening right now. This is awesome. No. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at the piece that we finished last week, but it is just dying right now, so gotta give it a minute. But while that's happening, let me go ahead and rename the overlay. Oh, there it goes. Hold on, let me rename the overlay while I still remember. Let's see, new piece. Did I spell Masquerade correctly? Masquerade. Okay. How does that look like on the thing? I think I should switch these. Hold on. New piece, colon, Vampire the Masquerade, dash Gangrel. Because this is the next piece out of the 3 that I'm going to do. I do 3 Vampire the Masquerade pieces, and then I take a few minutes off. Or a few pieces off to like keep working on other stuff. It gives me a chance to like practice other styles. But yeah, 1 second. Strawberry Frappuccino. I feel like that's just sugar and it has no coffee in it, but that's fine. I like sugar. Sugar is good. Yeah. So we have finished this piece in the last one. I am very pleased with how it turned out. There's some small little things, like always, that I feel like I could have done a little better. But overall, it came out really solid. Like, I'm really pleased with this. You guys get a little bit of an exclusive peek because I'm not going to post this for a little while. I needed to at least get the last piece of my black and white trio finished before I could move on. Let me see. Man, Grid is very slow right now. Insert is in open in new document. Sorry, give it a moment. There we go. So this was the piece that I just posted to my Instagram just a few minutes ago. I am very pleased with how this guy turned out. I think this is one of the stronger like themed pieces that I did out of the little trio. But yeah, I just wanted to finish this up before I managed to post anything else, because I didn't want to break it up, you know, like I wanted to post 1, 2, 3. I didn't want 1, then a completely random post, then 2, then a completely random post, then a completely random post, and then 3. Like I wanted it all to like just one, which it ended up actually creating a backlog of pieces. So I have like 4 other pieces that I need to post to my Instagram. It probably wasn't the smartest idea. I think people would have just dealt with it. Like it's not really like a series that is like highly anticipated or anything. But you know, sometimes you can get those little things in your head where it's like, I can't do this until I do this, even though there's nothing really stopping you from posting whenever you want. It's just like a barrier that you make up in your head that you think people are going to be worried about, but in reality, no one really cares. In a good way, you know, like it's less stress. No one cares, they're just here to see what you do. But anyways, I decided to wait anyways. It's out. So next week I'll be posting the guy, the man, the lad. Hold on. There it goes. The guy, the lad, the man. No little guy though. There's a little guy over here in the corner that I drew, but he couldn't stay. He didn't fit the full piece. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how this guy turned out. The only issue is just goodness gracious, did it take a long time. I was so exhausted. Oh, I finished editing the supercut of it, so it should be going up this Wednesday. You can the final time lapse that I did, which was the rain effects, the lighting, and all the final like color tweaks. That video went up this Monday, so I'm going to be posting the supercut, which has just been edited. I ended up having to trim out a lot because most of my pieces usually take like 6 or 7 streams. This one took like 10 or 12. Like it was just obscenely long. That's something I regret probably the most out of this piece, which is just like as much as I love it, like I did not need to take that much time. I played around way too much. I had like 2 or 3 streams where I like fell asleep. Like I think it took exactly 4 months exactly to finish this piece. When realistically all I want to do is like 2 months, 2 to maybe 3 months if it's like a really complex piece. Yeah, I had to trim out a lot of like smaller stuff. The buildings in the background, like all this over here in the background, even though that took like 4 or 5 streams on its own, it takes like a minute of the 15-minute supercut. Because it's not that important. It's background detail. It's not like super complex stuff. I give just a little so you can tell like, okay, I have this texture basically. I manipulate it to fit the perspective of the buildings and the perspective of the entire piece. And then I erase, add a little bit of extra juice to it basically. And once I show off like once or twice how I do that, then I immediately just start cutting through the buildings where it's like, here's the middle building and then here's the last building. We're just gonna cut right by it because you don't need to see each and every building get worked on in order to understand what happened during the time lapse. Especially because like that changes it from being like 15 instead of like 20 minutes, it's 15 minutes. Like that's a pretty huge chunk. Just like sitting there and watching it. That's me personally. That's what I felt comfortable with cutting out. And then just smaller stuff like I cut out like a lot of ideas that I started and then decided to throw away later. Like the leg up here. This leg up front, this thing gets so much time. So I would try to do the leg, then I would erase it, and then I would try to do the leg again, and then I would erase it. So I had to cut out all those times where like the ideas just didn't work. So it was just a lot of editing of that. And then I had to make sure like all the good stuff are just long and slow enough that you gotta see some ideas really worked on. So the parts that are long or like line art, I think the line art phase is really gorgeous because you get to see this really messy sketch turn into like an actual drawing. That's really clean. Some of it's a little annoying, like you know, like if it's already really clean and then you're just like kind of doing it, cleaning it up, then that's kind of boring because you're basically just tracing it slightly cleaner. But this specific piece had like a really rough second phase, and then like that last phase I cleaned things up really nicely. slapping on the colors and just making things more vibrant. I think that's really important to watch. Some of the big effects that ended up meaning a lot, like the rain ended up meaning a lot. The splashing on the coat, I think it gets a little bit of a focus just because like it's so visually striking in the piece. Or the fog in the buildings especially. Like that was a really small, really quick decision that ended up like adding so much to the piece. So yeah, that's my editing process if anybody was curious. So I look forward to that. Gonna be released this Wednesday. Should be like 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm East Coast if you haven't been able to tell. I don't have much of an accent, but yeah. No, I don't want to say. Okay, so now we get to start on a new piece. Create new. This cup's already sweaty. By the way, it is really hot. Jesus Christ, I really hate summer. And we are gonna die in a heat death, and that's not great. I was literally like 2 weeks into the summer, and I was like, all right, that's enough of that. That's good. I'm good. This summer thing, it's kind of fun, seeing the grass grow, seeing the trees all lively. But I'm good. Let's go back to winter. I want everything to be dead and quiet again. Everybody dead except for, you know, us. Let's see. What size? I think A3? Yeah, let's go with A3. Nope, A3 I said. Alright, so first things first, most important, let's make the canvas not completely white because that's going to be blinding for the entire piece. Let's go with this like cooler blue color. Just drop that in. Sorry, 1 second. This drink is causing a lot of trouble for me. It's like lifting the coaster because it's just dripping so much. Try not to get really aggravated. Okay. So, as far as the drawing that we're going to be working on, so you can see from what I typed into the topic, we are going to be working on the next Vampire the Masquerade character that I have designed at least like 2 years ago now. So this is going to be Gangrel, a Gangrel clan. So me being the way I am with character design, I always like to do something kind of against the grain of what I think is expected of the clan, or you know, whatever it is. So whenever I did like Skyrim characters, I took the race, then I did the exact opposite of what I think the race represents. Or you know, like with dwarves and Dungeons and Dragons, I always make the opposite of what the character goes with the character. So you know, like instead of a big giant orc that's scary, I go with lady orc that's very pretty. You know, like dwarf that's very small and angry, I go with tall and stealthy dwarf. That, you know, may as well not even be a dwarf at that point. But something about that's really fun for me. So with Gangrel, I decided to go for a more interesting concept of it. Instead of just being the loud Gangrel that, you know, lives in the streets and loves like dirt and all that, I decided to go for more of a wolf in sheep's clothes kind of thing. 1 second. So my character is I need to grab a picture of him too. Is a Gangrel that wears a suit. So his whole thing is that he likes the challenge of fighting other clans on their turf. So specifically, he has beef with the Ventru and the Hecata clan, or you know, the Hecate clan. So that includes especially the Giovanni, the Puttanesca, and then what is the other one? The main one that he really doesn't like, because it has to do with like home turf, is oh Christ, I forgot what they're called. It's the Scottish ones. Hold on 1 second. Let me shut up and focus on grabbing some stuff. Here we are. So he is vampire number 9 out of 14. Sorry, give him a second to pop up. Because Krita is just all sorts of slow. So yeah. 1 second. Yeah, this is him. He's a Gangrel. Oh, hold on, press enter. He's a Gangrel. He likes to fight lawyers. He is a lawyer, but he's more of like a lawyer for that does like pro bono work for people who are like don't have enough money. Or he also does what's the word? Larger claims for, you know, big businesses. I have seen what is it? It's like big claims against like companies who are like polluting water and selling items that are using ingredients that either pollute the water or end up clinging to people, like, you know, PFAS kind of stuff, you know, DuPont chemicals, that kind of lawyer. Kind of like the only like good lawyer, you could say, like people who actually fight against the power by actually, you know, going against the wealthy and their lawyers. So, you know, like a very what Gangrel would consider disrespectful kind of person. You know, like this is not at all what a Gangrel is supposed to be in the eyes of like the more basic Gangrel. But this character, I imagine being a really important and valuable piece for Anarchs. Specifically within, what did I put him as? Scottish? Yeah, he's Scottish. Wasn't sure. All this ended up lining up together. It wasn't like oh, Scottish, so obviously he's gonna be drunk in a pub. It was more of a just like, oh, he's a guy who likes to go to pubs. And then I started thinking about like the history of what would be an interesting time period. And I found out about the War of the 13 Kingdoms. I took a look at, you know, kind of who were the main players in those. At least specifically in, you know, like the 3 islands. The Ireland, England, Scotland. I know it's not 3 islands, but it's 2, I guess. I don't know. You British and Scottish need to get it together. It's too hard. Too many places. Let's see. I'm trying to think where I'm trying to go from there. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch to the main camera. I think there's a sound effect that plays when I do that. So, hi, you can see my face really way too big. But let me go and show you what I'm going to be working on. So I have the outfit that I'm going to be doing as far as him. He's going to be kind of like the other picture that you saw, where he's like very rolled up sleeves, ties loose, chilling at the bar. And he's going to be just like right after a bar fight. Hold on, I'm trying to get this to focus. Can you focus, please? Camera, please. Maybe I need to push farther back. Oh god, this is so confusing. So you can see that I did a bunch of like thumbnail sketches trying to figure out like what camera angle I think looks best. I ended up with 2 really solid camera angles, but I think only this one right here works the best for the theme of the piece. So just as like a little rule of layouts, camera angles from down below end up making the subject look a lot more big and intimidating, and then subjects from above make them look a lot more childish and, you know, less threatening. But I think you could still work with it. It's not like a golden. Oh, sorry, it's not like a rule that is always there. You know, you can show big tough people from above and still look threatening. But I think I wanted to go for more go by the rules on this one. You know, like make sure good instead of like fighting against it, just going with what I know should work. You know, as far as like the layout of the piece. You know, just a sip, just a little sip. But yeah, you can see I already kind of got like this idea worked out on this guy way back when I first did like the concept for him. So hold on, let me just. Why is this red so dull? Give me something bright. Give me a pen that's a little bit more. This one right here. This is basically what we're gonna be going for, where he's already like in the middle of a bar fight. We're gonna go more for like he's already finished the bar fight and he's, you know, covered in his and their blood. Just showing like, even though he's in a suit and tie, like he's still got what he has what it takes to like, you know, like to be threatening and still physically capable. You know, like Gangrel in all the Vampire the Masquerades that I've played are very aggressive and in your face. You know, like they will jump in front of you and immediately start challenging you. That's just their way. And I think he's a little bit of an older Gangrel. He's a little bit more old school and comes from, you can see like he's a knight from the War of Three Kingdoms. So like, I don't know what that is, 1800s, 1600s, or somewhere, one of those two. Oh wait, it says right there, 1600s. Yeah. So he's an old vampire. I think he's maybe like second oldest vampire that I make out of all of these. I think even let me think. Hold on. Let me just take a look real quick. Just a little look. Just a little look. Most of them are like 80s, 60s. Nothing too crazy. I think one of them's from the 1920s. But this character specifically is from the 1600s. I think the character that came before him was 1700s/1800s. The next one will be 1800s as well, so nothing too crazy. Yeah, and that's probably the oldest one. And then maybe you can kind of consider there's going to be a Salubri, and with how the Salubri do their thing, the vampire that created him, you know, goes back, you know, generate like literally centuries and millennia. Though he himself is just from like the 1980s or 1960s, so it's more of a just Sorry, my brain went completely empty for a second there. Duncern, that's what it is. The Bakers of Duncern. Or there might be a way to say it in Scottish that's much more fluid. The Bakers of Duncern it's like a small little family of I don't know what to call them. They're like, their whole thing is that they're very similar to the Giovanni clan, but they're Scottish, so you know there's a difference there. And then I think they've also been themed to be a little bit more close to cannibals, where they like to eat entire people as opposed to just the blood. But maybe I'm misremembering because it's been a while since I was like reading all through the Vampire the Masquerade lore. But yeah. Oh, so yeah, this guy is definitely the oldest vampire. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna put a group on him. I'm gonna do a new layer. We're gonna make it an erase layer. I'm gonna just keep it to him. What is going on? I have no idea why my like critter is being so slow right now. This was when I was still figuring out how like I wanted to get back online. This was like one of the first pieces I started posting online was my Vampire the Masquerade characters. So also part of his backstory is that he was kind of used a lot, passed around as a soldier for different clans, while being unaware that he had been a ghoul, made into a ghoul. And then once he started to piece it together, like he, I think, he was what's the word? I keep a lot of it like a little vague because I think it's better whenever you don't explain too much of the story. But we can just say that he was embraced by an unknown Gangrel who wanted to like cause some issues for, you know, the ruling clans in the area. He was kind of like a play toy and, you know, like a good soldier for all of them as a ghoul. So he decided to completely embrace him. And just leave him on their laps. Either, you know, he'd get burned up by the sun, or they would have to deal with him. I mean, you know, yada yada yada. 200 years pass, and now he's a really well-established higher up in the Anarch ranks. Not necessarily like nobility or anything, but he kind of established like the grounds of the operating grounds first. I won't say all of Scotland because I don't know what established lore there is, but I like to imagine that he has a huge part in whatever influence the Anarchs have in Scotland, a modern day. Like in my headcanon, there's like a long old history of the Anarchs being established in Scotland. But, you know, during the England and all that, it was more taken over by, my goodness, I'm forgetting all the names, Camarilla. And he kind of helps, like, revitalize it. After a while, it's kind of, like, abandoned. It's left to the bankers of Dunsern, who slowly start to grow in influence. Meanwhile, he also helps establish some like, local coteries and things like that. I don't know enough about Scotland to say exactly which areas would like fit better. I think I've seen on Reddit some people have like discussed it. You know, like the Boweries and like which ones are more like industrial areas where Anarchs might be good to set up in their own like personal games. But I have no idea because I am American. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's just do like a rough sketch to get things, just get things firing. Let me have this thing open up so I can see what I'm gonna be working on, where we're gonna be going. So we're gonna do, it's too easy to do something with like a normal camera angle, so obviously I have to make this harder for myself. So we got a kind of wonky perspective. Nothing too crazy as far as like normally what I do. Goodness gracious, this is ugly. Is there any difference between an Irish pub and a Scottish pub? I feel like there's probably differences, but I think it might be more similar than they might want to admit. But that's just me guessing with literally zero knowledge. Who knows, maybe Scotland doesn't even drink. Hang on a second, I think I have an error. Hello! Thank you for joining. Getting started on a new piece, so trying to get things worked out here. We're gonna be working on this character, getting like a cool little scene to kind of, you know, tell a little story of like who he is without saying much. So we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of just breaking things down as far as like the composition of the piece. But it's good to see you. Trying to work out like how this character is gonna exist 3D. Is it gonna be like a ticked over painting? Oh, that's it. I always get jealous of people who are able to work with 2D stuff. Or sorry, animated stuff. That's not good. I hope they don't bother you too much. I haven't had any stalkers, so I'm very grateful for that. Hopefully they don't bother you over here. I'm not supposed to zoom in at this point, but I need to figure out how to lean his head towards the camera. And then I'm gonna have his like hand up here, just wiping off like some of the blood that he's got going on. Oh, I should probably explain. So the theme of the piece is that he's finished a bar fight and he's just like cleaning himself off, basically. He's gonna have like a loose tie and his sleeves all rolled up, but like some blood on it. The bar is gonna be a little roughed up. The painting's like tilted on its side because, you know, they made a little bit of a mess. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Is it some of your animating stuff that you've been working on? Hello. Thank you for joining. Yeah, this is a cool little thing you got working on here. Nice little teaser. I'd like to see how the animation comes along later. But thank you for sharing. Also, hello, Kate. I am starting a new piece, just getting it started. Not exactly sure how we're gonna get to where I need it to go, but I'm gonna keep working on it. The full animated series, that's crazy. You know what? That's very fair. I think you should be scared of Nintendo. I'm personally very grateful that I'm not into like any Nintendo products. No, I appreciate it. I should be good on graphics personally. I just bought like a $20 pack for graphics, and I think I'm good with what I got. Though I appreciate it. I'm just personally a little too lazy to work on my own. All right. Thank you. I have a Discord, but right now I'm not really interested right now, but thank you. Maybe I should draw this character straight on and then change the angle later. Let's keep working though. We can always, do that later. Keep drawing over the little hole in my tablet. I forget that there's a place where I accidentally stabbed it with a knife. And the tablet works 100% fine, except for just when I go over that little area. Which is kind of crazy. Kudos to Huion for making a tablet that you can stab a hole in and it's not going to cause a problem. I don't know what magic juju they got working on it, but that's pretty sick. If you're a self-destructive kind of artist, you know, you can get a recommendation for the Huion for that. I was just opening up in a package on top of my tablet. I just keep it always out on my desk. So whenever I was opening a package, I just stabbed right through. It was good stuff. It was absolutely terrifying. I was like, oh no, I gotta buy a completely brand new like $100 tablet like This is awful. And then I tried it and literally no problem. I was like, oh, okay. I got kind of sad. I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to buy a new tablet, but I guess there's literally no reason if it still works. You get that push and pull of like, I'm sad I have to spend money, but also new stuff. New shiny thing. I live for the small little tiny shiny things. Okay, the pose is kind of there. It's looking a little bit too comic booky, but it's not too bad. Let me just look up something real quick. Scottish bar, or I guess you should say pub. Pub? Do the Scottish call it a pub? Hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to look for a picture of a pub in Scotland that has like a person, so I can also tell like how big the pub needs to be. I'm going for some small-ish, nothing too grand. Just a small little hole in the wall. I think that's a pretty good size. Maybe just a little bit bigger so I can make him look like he's not a tiny guy. It's so hard to find Scottish pubs that don't have like a giant Irish flag like somewhere in the background. Like I think Google's kind of just having a stroke. It's like, oh, but we only know Irish pubs. So whenever you're looking for a pub, you're definitely looking for Irish. Even though I'm explicitly saying Scottish pub, Scottish. Not that there's like a huge difference. I imagine, you know, like it's probably not that crazy. But I mean, come on, give me some. Work with me here. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I found some pubs that are like insanely like they almost look like ballrooms. That's how like nice they are. It's hard to tell because some of them are so like modern. What if I put like old bars? Okay, we're getting there. Now I just need one with a person in it. One where I like it's really easy to compare like what size they are to the wall. Okay, this I like. This isn't too bad. I should have probably had the references ready beforehand, but you know what it is. You know what it is. You know the jig. Something like this. So there's definitely some room between like a taller person. He might just be short, but you know, you get some like maybe. He looks like he might be 70-80% of the way up the wall. If he was like standing right next to it, maybe like 75. Then you get a good idea for like the look. You know, it's basically like every other bar that you see. This one feels a little bit more modern-ish, but it's got like old wood and stalls and everything. Nice old feel. That's about what I'm going for. Maybe a little modern, but a little traditional. A lot of Irish pubs and stuff that you find in America are like fake. They go really hard for that feel. So you know, like they have like signs and old photos and all the wood and everything feels old. But I've seen like videos about it. Like they actually like sell a lot of that stuff to make things feel that way. Like it's there's like businesses and services that literally will sell you images of random old photos from Scotland, just so you can fake the look of being like, oh, this pub has been here for 100 years. My grandfather, opened this back in the 1700s, or sorry, I guess like 1800s. My great grandfather, and then like you look it up and it's like, oh, this bar has been open for like 3 years. Like it does not have any history, but they just buy all the stuff to make it look like it's just like existed there the entire time. It's really crazy. Like I think there's a video on YouTube where they talk about it. Like a lot of places that like specifically seem like a weird thing that will only exist in your city are actually like national business. We are in the modern age where everything is a national, or everything has national, everything is globalized. So it's legitimately like difficult to actually find like spots that are truly like local things. It's very easy to dupe that thing, that aesthetic and feel. So I think he needs to be just a little bit taller. So I'm just gonna cut him out because we didn't do anything on a separate layer yet. I just realized I probably should cut out the box of him too. To just this entire area. Control V. What's going on? Sorry, I am about to lose it on this computer. Control X. Control V. That I don't know why, but it's struggling to do any little like tweak. Blah. I'm gonna lose it on this computer. Okay, so we're gonna go for maybe like hang on a second. Is there a way to add a rule? Nope, not that. Go away, go away. View, snap to guide. Just a second. I remember there used to be a way for this, or maybe I'm thinking of GIMP. Krita add guide at specific location. Let's put this grid and grind. Let's put this like over here by overview. I'll give it a few minutes so the critic can catch up. Sure. Man, what is going on? It will not let me move anything on this thing. Any of these windows. Oh my goodness. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying not to get upset, but for some reason it won't let me move this window at all. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it lets me change everything on these windows. Anyways, sorry. I was getting really annoyed. But I'm trying to use the view, canvas. Sorry, I'm losing my mind trying to get this to work. Okay, we're gonna just open it up like it wants me to, because it doesn't let me change anything about it, and I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not mad. You're mad. I'm not mad. Me? No, never mad. Guide. Let's go grid. Show grid. I don't know, 100, 2,000 pixels. $500 pixels, 600 pixels. Oh, 600, we're almost get there. This makes no sense. Okay, hold on. Let me do it like this. Image, canvas size. We're gonna get a calculator and we're gonna get a notepad. This is old school. So 3508. Then 4960. See, first 3508 divided by 3. That's gonna be, oh goodness, 1169.333. 69, nice. 3333. I'm hiccuping. I don't know why I'm hiccuping. Then 4960 divided by 3. I think that one's gonna be divisible by 3. Nope, same thing. 1653.3333. 53.3333. Okay. Oh, hold on, let me delete the selection. Okay, I think that's thirds. Oh my goodness, I'm like losing my mind. I'm sorry. Three 3306.666666. Yeah. I got it. 66666. $3,508 times 0.60. No, that's not gonna work. 3,508 divided by 3 times 2. 2338. 2338. 0.66666. Okay. So first one should be 1653. We could probably deal with 1654. It's probably close enough. And then the second one is 2386666. 2338. No, hold on. 38306. I forgot. Wrong one. There's probably a really easy way to do this, and I haven't thought of it. $3,306, so that's probably $3,307 rounded up. There we go. And then the other one is going to be... Why would you do that? There we go. 1169 and then 2338. 1169. The next one is 233. We can round it up to 89. 2339. Perfect. Darn it. There we go. Okay. Then we're gonna go ahead and lock these. So first of all, take off snap to grid and view lock guides. Voila. That's rule of thirds. Oh, it only took me about 30 minutes. I should have made a coffee. I'm already getting tired. Classic. Classic me. Okay, so I'm going to make him just a little lower. Bring him like right down there. Then as far as the background, does that need to be changed at all? Maybe a little bit closer to like right here. A little bit like that. Or maybe a little lower. Like right there. Alright, just a little bit of change, not too much. Let me go ahead and tools or settings. Show dockers. We're gonna take off grids and guides because it's already way too cluttered over there for my taste. There we go. Okay. Oh. So we're gonna erase some of this over here. I think we're gonna go ahead and merge them together again. Okay. All the pencil line art is back in into one layer. So he is, well, hold on. Before that, actually, I completely forgot. We're gonna try to manipulate this. Too wide. Just wanted him slightly wider. Okay. I think that's a good place to have it. Sorry, 1 second. I'm still being stubborn. Put them way too low, so somewhere around there. I'm also planning on this to be very obscured by shadows, because I think that's kind of an element I'm missing from a lot of these pieces, is that I don't give enough shadow and like, I don't know, obscurity to everything. Because, you know, these are little shadow demons, they're little shadow creatures. I think with the exception of some of them. Does this have any caffeine? It does not. Oh my goodness. Disgusting. Absolutely abhorrent. No caffeine. Is it even a drink? Alright. I'm probably gonna have to take a nap after this because I am very tired. So as far as the pose, we're not too far off. I think his arm is a little bit too out there. Oh, now we can merge him. want it to be like his fist to be out there, because to like show like his strength. Because whenever it's like bunched up towards his face, like you can't really tell like how imposing he is. But that's what the right side of the fist is supposed to be doing. It's gonna be the one where you can see like he's got a lot of muscle there, a lot of weight to him. He's got some big ol' biceps, or not biceps. Which one's the first? Forearm muscle, which are really hard to work out. Personally, I don't want it to be sticking out like a superhero, where it's like, you know, just out there for no reason. You know, a little balled up fist, a little, you know, close to his side. Looks like he's still ready for a punch if he needs to. But here he's won the battle. He's done. Or maybe a little bit of like shadow to his gut, where it's like he's hunched over just a little bit, kind of like a beast. Just, you know, finished they're eating their meal, so they kind of like hunch up as if like something's about to take it away from them. Let's see if I can like curve this downwards a little bit. Change the curve of the chest a little bit, so it's a little bit more like he's glowering down. I just need to change like the position of the head. But I'm trying to take it one step at a time. I need to get the pose worked out, and then I'll be doing like the shadows and lighting. A little bit more of a glower, a little bit more of the head forward. I want a little bit of a cock to it, where it's just like slightly tilted, so a little forward, a little cocked, so a little bit like this. Oop. Don't know why I clicked eyedropper. I should have used a way bigger pencil. Well, I mean, there's always now. Let's go with 20. Right there. The song's great, but it is a little loud. Not enough for me to change the song though. I'm having a good time with it. There we go. I think I'm getting it now. I think it's coming together. Oh, there we go. Like that little dip right there. Right there. Right there. Ooh, yep. It's all working. It's all working. It's all working. Folks, we love to see it. We love to see it come together. Nice. I love it. Oh, my bones. Hold on, is the camera even on me right now? Hold a second. Okay, yeah, I'm still centered. I don't move my head too much, I don't think. Ooh. Oh, except for that. I was real worried about it for a second because it was not going how I wanted it to for a minute there. A little bit of a bump for his butt. And then we get his thigh right in there. And good solid thigh, nothing too insane where it's like I don't want him to look so jacked that he's like clearly a bodybuilder. More of a hitting kind of thing. I think with exception to like the upper half where it's gonna be very firm. With the exception to his clothes once I get him on there. I think his legs are gonna just be a little subtle. He doesn't skip leg day, but you know. He's not going out there with like quads that are like literally the melon crusher 3000s, you know. He's got some subtle ones, maybe like a soccer player, like nothing crazy. Slim, but it's got some power on it. Calves, maybe I want to go a little redonkulous because some people calves are hard. Calves technically don't grow that much without like super intense working out. And constant like supplementing because calf muscles don't really grow that much. So you really gotta like go crazy on your calf muscles and then like constantly keep it up. And it's really not worthwhile for a lot of people unless you're a bodybuilder to like have dedicate so much time to the calves. You should dedicate some time to it because you know obviously you don't want to like make it obviously slim. But sometimes if you're born with skinny cows, they will just stay skinny cows. Just, you know, work out everything else, even everything out if that's what you prefer. Learn more to accept like what you got in that case. Which isn't usually like the MO of gym bros. You know, we're very much like they very much like I think everything can be solved through exercise. That's, you know, and maybe that's just some gym bros. I know a lot of people are very intelligent and open to people of different sizes. It's not as judgmental as sometimes they get a rep of being. They're very nice people. But for this guy, I want to imagine him with big calves because I think it adds to like the natural strength kind of look. Not like, you know, again, not Melon Crusher 3000s. He's not gonna have calf muscles that could literally have its own gravitational pull. But enough where you'd be like, oh, what does he do? You know, where did those come from? Where did those little bad boys come from? Sorry, hold on, let me... try to make them a little bit more 3D, come up towards the camera. My palm just got itchy for whatever reason. Also, the worst part of summer, I can't wear any of my nice shirts that are long sleeves. It's literally just t-shirts, and anything else is out of the question because it's just gonna melt. It's so annoying. Like, men already have like really limited options of what to wear, and then like as soon as summer hits, it's like, okay, you're now like back to like 20% of your wardrobe. Yeah, tees, tank tops if you think you can pull them off. I absolutely am not interested in tank tops. You can go crop top if you roll that way. That's definitely not something I'm interested in either. Something I do get away with is 3/4 shirts. So like the shirts where like the sleeves end a little early. They're like right here. I like those shirts a lot. The baseball shirts. Those look good. And they're just like, the sleeves are just short enough that they get a little bit more breeze in it. I've been wearing that a lot this summer. I got a Majority Report baseball tee that I'm really a big fan of because it's just the perfect length if you want to like a little bit of long sleeve, but not too much that you're like trapped in the heat. Okay. Let me zoom out. I'm gonna do a quick little thing. Let me see if this works. This is a little kooky, so we'll see if this works. Select, deselect. I think I made his like abdomen a little short. Yeah. I think now that when you're like right here, you can definitely tell like this is real. It's tight, but it's a little bit too tiny. Like he can go to like up here and it would still look fine. I think maybe a little bit more like in between, so like right here. Just give a little bit more length to his body. And then we're probably gonna mess with the camera angle one more time to make him a little bit smaller up top, bigger at the bottom. It's a little difficult because like I want him. I think this is good, whereas like it cuts off right at the calves and the ankles. Sorry, I dropped the knife. Yeah, just like this area where it's like his head is right in the rule of thirds. Every intersection that you have is like supposed to be where something important is. That's why his crotch is right there. No. Sorry, I want his head to like stay up there in that zone of the piece, in that section of the piece, the upper thirds. But I also want his legs to cut off like right where they are. And I'm trying to look for a way to keep them in balance while also still like increasing the exaggeration of the piece. But we'll see. First, let's connect it all. Let's put them back together. There we go. Okay, maybe that bumps is a little bit too gratuitous. Like that. That's a little better. There we go. Okay. Then let's cut him out. See if we can make the angle, what's it called? Distortion, perspective, there we go. A little stronger on him. So select, deselect. Then let's try to manipulate him a bit. So I think first we should try, what the? Oh, I didn't control X, control V. I should have cut him out for, nope. Cut out the wrong piece. There we go. Now we got him. Select, deselect. Okay. Perspective. A little bit more like this. Warp him a little that way. Push him a little this way. A little wider this way. Height's still good. There we go. It's getting a little bit closer to where I want it. I think just a little bit further wider. A little wider. Then we can kind of like increase the size of like the elbow towards the camera. That way we can make the perspective look a little bit more full. But yeah, I think this is good. I got the fan directly on me and it's making my lips like really chapped. Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, this feels right. Maybe just a little bit more tweaking. Let's see. Ooh, hold on. Now we're getting a little bit more of that tilt that I needed. Ooh, I think we're getting it there. I think that's the one. Or maybe it's a little too extreme because I think it looks like he's leaning back towards the wall. Then his feet would be like right here. So like there's not a lot of room to go on from the bottom. I think the table that's like this little circle over here is supposed to be like a table that's ticked over. I think that needs to be a little higher. But actually, I think the perspective is good on him. Okay. I'm gonna use the chalk brush for a minute. See if we can work in some of the shadows that I want. So first, let's move this up here. A little bit more like... It's like this is like the line that he's going against, so I think this wall also needs to like fit that. Just like that. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, actually. I think I like working at this from a little bit farther. And he's gonna have like a painting over here. This is gonna be like oil painted, like it's gonna be set up in the bar. You'll see what I'm doing with this. You'll see what I'm cooking up a little something. I think to fit in with the perspective, the halfway point of the wall's like right here. Not halfway, but there's gonna be like a little part where there's wood paneling from like here below. Maybe a little bit of a little bit of what do you call that little stuff that you put on the corners of walls, the corners and the floors? It's like embolding, embossing, something like that. Hang on a second. Wow, I cannot remember what it's called at all. It's weird. I use the word a lot because it just comes up. I just see it all over the place. I think it's like the same thing you put on window corners. Not a corner window, a window liner. Here, hold on here. A crown molding, that's what it's called. That's what I'm talking about. What is crown molding? Is there like a functional purpose or is it just decoration? Anyways, okay. So crown molding, that's what I'm talking about. And then this is apparently called a dado. Then it's called a dado rail. I'm learning a bunch of new architectural terms. I have a bunch of drinks over here. Maybe it's also got like one of those little beams across where it can hang like more cups and drinks from. Maybe you can have like a person like keeled over here. Not like beheaded, that would be crazy. But maybe. Maybe this is like a banker on his turf. Banker of Dunturn. So yeah, that was also like something I decided would be like really interesting. So I like to think of Scottish as more, not necessarily completely ruled by the Camarilla, more ignored by the Camarilla. And that's given like a perfect like operating base for independence and like cative. Maybe what's the name for the evil ones? They're not evil, but they are pretty evil compared to even the Camarilla. Camarilla is like a quiet evil, like you know. They clothe themselves in etiquette to excuse their, you know, what they do, wreaking havoc on kind for the sake of a few kindred. But the other guys, it's not the cative. What are they? Jesus, I forgot all the factions of freaking all the sorry, my brain is so fuddled. I forgot all the factions of Vampire the Masquerade. Factions, VTM. VTM factions. I think Google had a stroke. Sabbat. There we are. La Sombra. Why is there no Sabbat? I guess because they're really disorganized in the 5th edition. They're not like a faction per se. They're more like remnants of a faction. Kind of like Enclave, I guess, in Fallout. In like further iterations where they're real like rare. Anyways, not the point. But yeah, this is I like to think that Scotland in Vampire the Masquerade is a little bit more independent ruled, Sabbat ruled. But really nobody has like an overwhelming influence. Like the ones that have like probably the biggest influence would be the Hecate. You know, like the Giovanni, the Bankers of Dunturn. Specifically the Bankers of Dunturn, because it'd be kind of lame if it was just like, oh, they're the Giovanni of Scotland, and then they have like zero influence in Scotland. Like, I know that they are like a smaller family, but I like to think it's more of like I think you're supposed to like pick and pull which like sections and which areas have more of a influence depending on like the location. So like they explained that the Hecate is usually 3 big clans in an area. So most areas the Giovanni's a big clan, and then the second clan might be the Puttanescas, and then the third might be the who's like the New Orleans themed, the voodoo themed one. Just a minute. Samedi clan. But then depending on which area it is, it actually could be like completely different, where it's like the main family might be the Samedi, and then the second family would be the Nagaraja, or the third family might be the children of Tenochtitlan, or the Pisnab. You know, like I like that it's like a third tertiary gray group. And even within that grayness, it can be completely flexible to depending on what location you work with. So in this one, it would be the Bankers of Dunturn who would be the overwhelming influence in Scotland, though not too significant, because, you know, it's not like one of the big factions, the Camarilla or the Anarchs. And then the second would be the Anarchs trying to fight against that area. The Bakers of Dunsters, kind of headed by this main Gangrel guy that I'm drawing. Or not drawing, because I'm getting distracted by looking up lore. Yeah, there's this guy. He's like I would actually like to imagine that he's either a banker that decided to get a little bit too direct. You know, like they're meant to send a message, and they didn't like the way that Chance wrote him off. I also like to imagine that Chance, which is this guy, he's a little bit of that, like, what I find a lot in Vampire the Masquerade stories is that they have a lot of like older characters, and usually by the time they get old, they start to hear the calling, which is like basically like their time to go. You know, like it's their time to reach the afterlife, whatever afterlife is left for the vampires. It's a little vague, but that's kind of how I interpret it. Like it's time for them to go, even though technically they're immortal. And realistically, they're actually probably going for like a long rest and slumber. What is it called? They're going into torpor rather than an actual afterlife. So he's like getting into that like last little stage where he's starting to like kind of really rest on his laurels. You know, like he's already spent hundreds of years being a firebrand and making up like some of their bigger operating areas for the Anarchs. So I think specifically his bars will always have like basements that are completely shot out of light. They also function as where they store the alcohol, but you know, they have like a secret system where like Anarchs who are in need can use their areas for like sleep. You know, you follow a certain set of rules, you do right by the Anarchs in the area, you're allowed to use their facilities, you know, their pubs across Scotland. That's how like it works here. I'm gonna say that's like a little ghost area because one of the paintings fell, or one of the pictures fell. Okay, I think we're getting it now. I'm also gonna do just another one. This one's gonna be more like lighting. So we're gonna keep it like real dark over here. Maybe a little bit more light towards the painting, because that's going to be also like a secondary focus. So a little bit wider on this light. But I really, like I mentioned earlier, like I really want to make sure like I'm keeping a lot of shadow, a lot of like bleakness and like mystery to it. Like even though this is actually like one of the more jovial vampires as far as like all the characters that I made. Like if there was one vampire that you would want to be a friend, like this is probably the guy, because he realistically, like all he likes to do is just drink and have a good time, and you know, defend people who are like disenfranchised, defend people who are unable to, you know, have the money to afford big lawyers, and you know, when normally they get smashed by their landlords, with like cases that they can't afford. He would pro bono just like completely write off and like laugh in their faces. So this is like the nicest kindred you could possibly even imagine. I really like this light. I wasn't too, like it was more vague in my head because I didn't actually like completely show it off in this little sketchbook that I did. But now that it's I'm showing how it looks, I'm really liking it. This is something I should always keep in mind. Is like, how do I want the lighting to look like very early into the piece? I need to make sure I have this like already like written down. And like there is no question where the focus on this piece is gonna be now. Like it is him and him alone. And I'm really happy with that. We're gonna group this together. Duplicate it. Wait, why am I duplicating? No, we're just gonna keep it like that. And make it more vague. And I'm gonna do a second rough. This one's gonna be a little bit more clean, a little bit more detailed. Specifically on him. I wanna make sure we get him like worked out. So I'm gonna keep the pencil big. I'm gonna keep it all pretty rough because we're gonna go for one final cleanup later. Ooh, hold on. Let me also. Oh, okay. Yep. Trying to be very careful, even though like I'm really far away from the focus. It's still not time to start zooming in. Once I get into like the final render, then I'll be able to zoom in as I need to. What the? I'm giving him like shark teeth, but that's not he's not gonna have shark teeth. He's beastly, but not that kind of beast. Like I said, wolf in sheep's clothes. Like he's gonna be maybe the calmest looking Gangrel, but that's not really saying a lot. As the Gangrel are very rambunctious bunch. Yeah, headcanon. As far as this character, he's like he's secretly very wealthy, and that's actually how he gets away with doing so much pro bono work. Is that like he actually has a lot of wealth because he is the oldest vampire I have in this little story. So he has like several pubs that he owns, or at least that he funds through his money that he's basically been able to accrue over centuries and centuries of existence. And part of that goes into like he owns a lot of pubs, and those pubs get money based on whether or not they're they have like setups for anarchs to use their rooms in order to sleep, and those rooms are basically reserved for anarchs who are like either really in need, or they're like safe zones, or what are they called? Safe houses for like anarchs who are like trying to get away from bankers, or that kind of thing. I've also considered that maybe this would be a character who his death would be like an inciting incident to like a big war. But I haven't given enough thought to that because a lot of the characters that I have are like all across America and then a little bit in Scotland. So like it would be hard. It'd be like he spends a lot of time between I said LA really weird. LA and Scotland. So he has like a dual citizenship and dual license or global license. I'm not sure what it's called in lawyer speak. Where he takes cases, you know, either in either locations, and he keeps them up to date so he can continue his license in both nations. This is all coming from somebody who does not know anything about being a lawyer, so you know, I don't know how realistic that is. I do know that those are things that can be done. You can be a lawyer in more than one location or country. I think so long as, you know, you qualify. Like, you have to know the law. You can't just you can't just learn the law once and that's it. Like, I'm pretty sure you have to maintain that. Kind of like being a doctor. Like, I think you have to maintain some level of knowledge through quiz or test or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, maybe like he's in LA for like a really important case, and then like right as soon as it wraps up, right as everything looks good, he's partying, he's having fun. All of a sudden, and on the night passes, sun comes up, sun goes down, and he is found dead in one of his bars. You know, who did the hit? You know, how did it happen? What, you know, could they have gained? Was it maybe to leave? He also likes to spend his time at a lot of bars. And those snakes, you know, the ministry of Set, they thrive off of the chaos. Maybe that's the direction it would go in. I'm drawing his muscles even though he's supposed to be wearing a shirt. I think it just needed to fix the head. That was the only thing that was like really like weird whenever I flipped the canvas. I mean, the perspective is weird, but that's also intentional, so it works. And I think, you know, there's kind of something nice to it. As much as I love this character, and I would like to see some stuff from him and scenes from him, at least within my head, and, you know, maybe it would be a comic. Or some sort of adaptation. I think he's also, like, valuable as, like, because he's so important to such a big amount of factions. Sorry, since he's such a high figure, his death would like create like a lot of commotion and, you know, allow for a lot of moving players. Obviously, when there's a lot of power in one person, there becomes a power vacuum whenever one of them gets done in, so to speak. So I like to, you know, like maybe we have like one coterie where like we're focused on them and everything's all normal, everything's all easy, and then as soon as this one guy just ends up dead from some who knows how, people start pointing fingers, pieces start moving on the table, and now this small little coterie, it now has to figure out how to survive when everything's changing. Everything you know is no longer as safe as it used to be. And you're gonna have to be very smart in order to get around it. You know, maybe you come up top, maybe you end up getting stabbed, staked, and put in front of Camarilla. Maybe it was Camarilla who set you up all along. Because what good Camarilla would allow an anarch to just come into their territory, cause so much ruckus, and then just leave unabated? See, there's enough in that I think would work really well. Like, while I think his story is very interesting and there's a lot to go on there, I think that, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's good as a starting point to create things down the line. Okay. I'm gonna zoom in, break my rule a bit. See if we can get this a little better. I'm gonna make this back into like a 12 pencil. Well, let me not erase it all. The thing is that I haven't really considered making any of the characters that I made super connected. They're all like very vague. Like I know Kai, which is the Bruja with the big muscles that I drew a couple months ago. I guess like a year ago now. He is supposed to be like like an anarch leader in like what I imagine like the Arizona, Texas area. Again, don't know how much lore has already been written about those areas. But in my own like little headcanon, my own little story. He'd be like enterprising and like hoping to create a Carthage somewhere in the Texas area. And that probably also could link up with Talib, because Talib is also looking for the next area, and I think he's eyeing Arizona, because I've heard that Arizona is looking into becoming a new like center for cinema, especially after like the success of Breaking Bad and like a lot of other shows that have used Arizona as like a place to film. That might be where also Talib is looking. It'd be interesting if maybe Talib is also looking to get something started there. A little bit of bickering between the Ministry and the Bruja clan. But it's hard, like because like a lot of these stories are much more interesting when it comes from a person that has like an idea of, you know, the area. Like you like those little references and nods to like actual areas. Like in Coteries of New York that which I played just a little while ago. There's like little things like the Second Inquisition being set up in like a tourist area. And I think there's kind of like a bit of dialogue where it's like, what do you mean? You know, like this is a super popular tourist area. Why would they be set up? And it's like, well, because there's no tourists at night. You know, they close up. So, you know, they get in, do what they need to, and then they leave before the next day the tourists need to come in. And so just, you know, having enough knowledge for like some of those areas is really tough for me. Because, you know, I have only been in North Carolina. I've been in New York for a little bit, for about a week. Went to Virginia for a few days. Nothing too, like, far out of my network. Basically just East Coast. New York was easily my favorite. I'm very into cities. So like me trying to think of like lore that I could write for like what Scotland would be like is insane. Or sorry, it's a little bit too much to ask for. There'd be a lot of stumbling, a lot of like goofiness where like anybody from Scotland would be able to point out like none of this makes any sense to the location or the area. That was an issue I had with like, I used to write a fan fiction for like Fallout, and because like I didn't want to have like any hiccups of like not knowing enough about, I don't know, Washington DC or any like area that hasn't been written in lore. I think like New York hasn't shown up in Fallout just yet, but I don't know enough about New York and like, you know, what historical areas they are to like come off as, I think, to be satisfying enough to the audience. You know, like Fallout fans want to see those big areas, those really big, important, like historical landmarks. I forgot he has a beard. Very nice beard. Trimmed, well trimmed enough that like it will get away with it in a court of law, because they can be a little, you know, they can be a little overly pedantic about like rules and like dress. So just like a well-groomed enough beard, it gets a little bit of that beastly look, but not so much that you can't possibly be seen in like a court of law. Like, you can come in there with like a 5 o'clock shadow. You shouldn't. You can maybe get away with it if you follow all the other, like, you know, regulations. Sorry. I like that song, but it's a little distracting. But yeah, that's so far what I've got as far as the lore for these characters. I think if it were to happen anywhere, it would probably be West Coast, Southwest Coast. Maybe around like California to Nevada or Arizona. Close to Texas, but maybe not even like really that close. His head looks tiny. He's dancing. He's dancing on us. Bip bop, bip bop, bip bop, bip bop. Sorry, can't help myself. Let's get some of the hair in. So he's got it like pulled back. So bit built up, so a little bit on the sides, a little bit towards the top, and then he just like slicks it back, kind of like how I do my hair. It's a little wild, but again, like, it can't be too crazy, because, you know, like, he needs to be able to like play by the rules of the court. Like, maybe somebody who's really hoity-toity, you know, like in law will like question him, and if he was like for working for a company that wasn't his own, he would easily be, you know, like yelled at by his boss. But that's the secret. He actually is the owner of his own law firm, so he can get away with like a lot of like, you know, being a little rougher around the edges, because all he has to impress is like the judges, or, you know, keep, not necessarily impress, but like keep them happy. Like, I've seen lawyers with like very long hair. They'll like pull their hair into like tight ponytails and buns. So, you know, like, it's very easy for them to ignore it. That way they can still let loose when they're off work. It's probably unnecessary, and obviously I don't have like any real perspective on it, because I am not a lawyer. But I am aware that like there's like a lot of annoying like rules about, you know, you have to come in a tie, or, you know, don't have to come in into a tie, but you're not going to be really treated particularly well or respected whatsoever if you're not like at least dressed up, you know, Why does it matter how you're dressed up? Because that's just how it is. There's a lot of silly stuff like that. It's kind of like what is it? Showing up for what's it called? An interview. Showing up for a work interview to get hired at a place. It's like how you dress in your off time does not matter to your work ethic. You can still be a good worker while wearing like a greasy looking tank top. You might be even better than the person that comes in the tie. He might be a complete criminal. As far as like stealing from the registers or miscounting finances intentionally to like line their own pockets, but they dress better. But, not everything is about what makes sense. It's just about vibes. I'm gonna do a little bit of some of the hair falling away. Not falling away like off his head, but like getting into his face. It looks like he's sleeping right now. I'm gonna tense up the face a bit. All right, hang on a second. How are we looking? I'm gonna try cutting off the head in a good way. See if I can move it around a bit. Select, deselect. Let me zoom in just maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little short, just a little bit. Then maybe perspective. Let's try that. Yeah, I think that's good. So let's glue the head back on real quick. Alright. Back to this. It's really tough getting everything to work together how I need it to. I'm gonna maybe have like a little bit of blood here. We're gonna give it like a lot more gleam like later on. That way you can be like, you can really stand out and you can notice that little glimmer of red on his chin. Yeah, I was thinking something's still off with the eyes, and that was like bothering me. There we go. I think we're getting it now. Just need to keep refining it. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything to work into perspective, and it's really hard. It's really annoying. One second. Where's my brush? There it is. Nope, never mind. I'm trying to erase it. Thank you. For some reason, it just wasn't showing up like it is now again. Is my brush? Is my pencil dying? There it is. See, 9:45. I'm just gonna. We're gonna have to go ahead and wrap this first session up pretty soon. But let's see if I can maybe at least get some clothes on this guy. I'm definitely spending way too much time focusing on the face, which is the exact reason you don't want to do this. But it's okay. I'm not taking things too seriously. We're just having fun. Okay. Let's first of all erase this freaking huge finger. Holy crap. There we go. Going back to the big pencil now. It's a little too streaky. Need to keep focusing on keeping it big enough. Calm that thing down for a minute. You too. Everything gets calmed down. Put that cake away. Okay, getting a little bit there. It's looking a little funky, but that's okay. Why is it looking a little funky? I think maybe the pants are a little too high, just a tiny, like maybe like a centimeter. That's putting things off on me. And then maybe the legs look a little too long, and the head's looking a little too small. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Ooh. So just for the final photo, let's pick this up. Maybe we can make this a multiply. I'm gonna pick up this bit. Put this up much more. Maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna put an eraser here. Nope. Erase this bit. Definitely on the nose, here. Maybe just like the little triangle. Okay, just making sure I was on the right layer, because this is just supposed to be fun stuff with the shadows. All right. I think now we're at a good place to go ahead and call it. Okay, so we got some of the rough started. I think I was a little slow. Started losing a lot of steam around halfway through, and I got a little distracted with the head. But overall, I think we're off to a pretty good start as far as the concept. I think this might be one that I'm a little slow on, but it's also probably going to be one where, like, if I keep doing things as I need to, it's gonna look good. Like if I spend that time taking it slow, then it's gonna it's gonna look a lot better for it. Like it might take some time, but maybe that's just the way it needs to be if I want to get it to look the way I want it to. So we'll see. I'm still working on it, even though I'm trying to go ahead and do my sign off. I can't help myself. I have problems. Somebody stop me. Nobody's here to stop me. I'm a menace. Anyways. Alright. Now I can go ahead and sign off. Alright. So, that is where we're going to leave the piece. Some things I need to work on. Things I need to tweak. I always have such an issue with perspective. Proportions. Specifically, something about the head always just makes things out of whack for me. Even though it's such a small thing to figure it out. I always have trouble with it. Anyways. But thank you for anybody who was here today. I really appreciate it. Even if you were just here for a few minutes, or even if you're just watching the archives that go up on YouTube later, I just have a good time just, having people here, see the work that I can do, being able to share my art. Just all of that, like, I really appreciate. Just having a chill time, just doing what I like to do. It's something that I've always done when I was young, and it's something that I'm really excited to be able to share with other people now. Like, it's still just something I love to do. Anyways, so yeah, really appreciate that if you're here. If you gave me a follow, or even if you didn't, if you just wanted to hang out for a bit, I really appreciate it. Feel free to check out my social media. So my social media includes my Instagram. That's usually where I post my artwork most up to date. I just made a post earlier today, so go and check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and quiet this down real quick. Yeah, sorry. So go ahead and check that out. Give me a follow on there. Give me a like on any of my posts. Just whatever you can do to help that grow as well. I'd really, really appreciate it. And also just the little hearts that go up on there make me feel good. It's just a nice thing to do. It makes me feel like other people are enjoying my art, and that's usually what I do this for. It's mostly for me. But also I like sharing. I've always been open to letting people peek at my art and say what they want about it, because I like that. I like talking to people about my art. I've not been too shy on that. I'm shy with everything else. I'm not shy about my art. But yeah, go ahead and check out my Instagram. Give it a follow. I also have a few YouTube channels. So there is the YouTube archive channel, where it's just all my streams just posted onto Instagram. Am I too close to the camera? Okay. It's just where all my streams are posted onto YouTube. That way I can have it just for an archive to see, all the work that I've done, have it backed up somewhere, and, let people see, catch up to it as they like. And then I also have a time-lapse channel. So the time-lapse channel are all the streams sped up into maybe more digestible 5-minute chunks. So maybe if you want to catch up, but you don't have enough time to sit down for the entire stream, you can just catch up on the YouTube archive channel. Or also what happens is when I finish a piece, I also do what I call a supercut. So it is all the time-lapse of a piece from the very, very beginning all the way to the very, very end, sped up into more of a 12 to 15 minute chunk. I have one that I just finished this week of the last piece. So that's going to be going up this Wednesday. I have to go ahead and upload it to YouTube and do all the description and get all that worked out. So that's going to be what I'm doing as soon as I'm done with this piece. But yeah, check that out, because it's really interesting watching the very first few strokes that I do on a picture all the way to the very, very last little final touches. seeing that progress is really satisfying, and I love doing that. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. Then I have a DeviantArt, so if you want to see some of my older pieces, I try to keep it a little bit behind, a little bit of delay, but those are also kept fairly up to date. So just another place to catch up with me. I've been on DeviantArt for a couple years, maybe I think almost a decade. So yeah, I usually poke my head in on there, so I'm pretty active on DeviantArt. But yeah, go and check that out if you like. I also do commissions, so if you would like something commissioned by me, I have my rates down below. I'm very pleased to do any kind of like Vampire the Masquerade characters like I am working on right now, or Dungeons and Dragons. I absolutely have done like hundreds of Dungeons and Dragons characters. So if you want me to do something on that, just go ahead and reach out to me. If you don't understand the chart, you can also just reach out to me either through my email or my Instagram. Please make it a little clear that you're not a bot. There's a lot of bots on these sites, so you know, go ahead and give me a little something about your character, a little something about my art that you like. That might help, you know, tell me that you're not just a random bot that like saw one of my pieces of art and just started spamming my chat. Just a little something to go that tells me that you're not just something somebody wrote up in a code. It's hard these days to figure that out. And then also, if you don't want to go through all the trouble of doing a full commission and you want to just do a quick one-time donation, I also have a PayPal link down below. So just a little bit of money helps let me know that my work is being appreciated on here, that my time's being appreciated, and it's not being like wasted. Like I said, I'll be here no matter what because I just like being able to share my art. But you know, it helps. You know, it makes me feel like I'm being valued for my art. Whenever I get actual somebody's hard-earned money in return, it really means a lot to me. Just being able to show that you appreciate my stuff, whether that's a like, whether that's just participating and chilling out in the stream, or you know, making a commission, or just dropping into the PayPal. All of those are extremely appreciated. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. We do this every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go to 8:30 to 9, sometimes 9:30 even. But yeah, we're gonna continue working on this, getting the line art worked out, hopefully working out the proportions to something I'm a little bit more satisfied with. It's not too bad right now. We'll see. But that being said, thank you again. I hope you guys have a good one, and have a good night. Bye.